We are really fortunate to have the three panelists that we have today. They are all LinkedIn and marketing experts. They're going to really be sharing some actionable ideas with us today. So each of you introduce yourselves, take a minute to tell us kind of who you are and what you do. And we can start with Cindy.
All right, so again, Cindy Metzler. We'll be talking today about personal branding. I'm very excited to be here. I've gone to lots of LinkedIn locals in the area, and I'm a huge believer in LinkedIn and the power of LinkedIn. So I wanted to thank all the hosts today, especially John, for reaching out. So I'm very grateful and looking forward to participating in future events. So I have a boutique marketing and public relations firm called O Media. I'm the president and founder. I've had it for almost 20 years. So I've been in the South Florida area, but I have customers and clients all over the United States. My husband and I recently purchased a Boca-Boynton location. So we're co-owners of that. That was right when COVID hit. So the timing couldn't have been jokingly LOL any better. But anyway, so we thought it would be a great complement to what my marketing firm. And I also have a directory for HVAC contractors, which is heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. I'm the co-founder of that about 4 or 5 years ago because I have a lot of clients in that HVAC space. So I founded that, and it has a site that consumers can go to and look for reviews for contractors in the area. And then a few years ago, I founded an organization called the Sisterhood for Success, which is a coalition of change makers. It's a group of women. It's a small group, but we actually have a subscription of 10,000 women that we communicate with on a regular basis. So, and I'm also co-organizer of TEDx Boca-Boynton. So that's something I've been involved with for many years, and it's a passion project of mine. It's not a paid initiative, but I've fortunately been able to connect with some incredible people as a result of being involved with TEDx Boca. So I like to think of myself as a marketer, a PR professional, a passionate storyteller, really for other people, not so much for myself, but for my clients and connections. I get them on the news or TV, and then also, I love to help people. So I'm hoping that I can help you in any way that I can. And I'm happy to be here, like I said, so I will continue. So I just wanted to do a little overview of LinkedIn, because I think this is interesting. LinkedIn was founded in 2002, and it wasn't until 2006 when it started to gain popularity and it actually became profitable. So I know a lot of people that are involved with startups. I work with a lot of startups and tech companies. It's, I guess, refreshing to know that it took them 4 years, and look at how big and successful they are right now. So it takes time for startups to gain traction. And then in 2007 was actually when I joined LinkedIn. And it's, as I said, after it gained popularity in 2006. There were only 10 million users on LinkedIn. And back then, a lot of people used their logos for the profile photo. So if things have changed and morphed a lot in the last 13, 14 years with LinkedIn. In 2010, 70 million users. That was when they really started to blossom. And then currently there's 660 million users, which is 2 times the population of the United States of America. So I think that's a great little snapshot of where we are with LinkedIn, and just to showcase the opportunity that there is with LinkedIn. And I also, like I said, with my topic here being personal branding, I just wanted to share some of my personal successes and successes that I've had with clients. So I don't specialize particularly in LinkedIn, but I help clients with marketing, public relations, and LinkedIn is part of that strategy sometimes. So again, personal branding, the art of being authentically you. So everyone always says you have to get your customer, which in this case is your relationship, to know, like, and trust you. And I've always loved this quote: your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So hopefully some of the things that we'll discuss tonight will be something that can help you make your brand more relevant and more positive. So this, I think, is an interesting story. This happened literally nearly 10 years ago, but 3 LinkedIn tweaks. As I said, LinkedIn has changed a lot over, the past 15 years. I've seen a huge growth initiative in the past year, I would say. So 3 things that I did one year, and again, this was, I don't know, 5 or 8 years ago, but I changed I updated my profile photo, and in the title description area, and I see this a lot on LinkedIn, and I also share this with my clients. People put, for example, chief doer, or something about themselves that's like chief connector, or something that, the profile area in LinkedIn is basically how people find you. So having had to work with clients to find writers, bloggers, I ran a daily blog for one of my clients several years ago. And I literally connected with 7,000 writers of all different magazines, publications, influencers, mommy bloggers online. And I was able to find them because of the search engine aspect that LinkedIn uses. And then we hired many of them to write for the blog that I was working for at the time. So I would just encourage everyone to put in your title description something that if someone's going to be searching for you, they can find you. So as I said, something like chief doer is a beautiful thing. And I actually have connector in my profile, but it's at the end of my profile. So I added CMO to my LinkedIn, and literally the same year that I did this, I landed 2 really great clients. I added my schooling, which again, this was many years ago, and I had like a very, very minimal framework of my LinkedIn profile. And I added the logo at the top of the profile page, and that really helped because people that were looking for someone that had a technology background, startup background, fashion backgrounds were able to find me. So just as, again, think of it as a search engine and use some keywords and key skill sets that you can incorporate into that. And so those are the 3 things I recommend, as I said, that helped me: profile, school, whatever. And again, it doesn't even have to be something that's relevant to your field. If you went to the University of Ohio and someone that's hiring has actually gone there, or his husband goes there, or what have you, it could be a connection, a relevant point of conversation. So personal branding is obviously a big trend right now, and it's a big hot topic. I subscribe to, as a PR professional as well, I subscribe to lots of different things, which I'm sure everyone on this webinar actually do as well. But Entrepreneur, Forbes, Inc., everyone's talking about personal branding. It's obviously a hot topic and a big trend right now. There's a TED talk called The Art of Being Yourself. It has over 9 million views. It's done by Carolyn McHugh. I would highly recommend it. But these are just some of the different resources that you can use to reference, to help with building your personal brand. One thing that I do that I found incredibly valuable on LinkedIn, and I do it on LinkedIn and off of LinkedIn, but in order to connect and collaborate and grow a network that's valuable to me, and here's some do's and don'ts that I do. And again, I always like to preface this. I go to lots of webinars and conferences, and everybody has opinions about different things on LinkedIn. So I would recommend, taking a bit of the information that we share and use your personal preference and create your own formula that works. These have served me very well. I would say, the 4 R's consist of being real. So for me, I literally think about learning and having an authentic interest and who I want to connect with. And I also curate a lot of the speakers for TEDx Boca Raton. And when I learn about someone or see someone, and a lot of them I find on LinkedIn, I open up with an authentic conversation that I've read something or I've seen something that they've created or produced and I enjoy it. As a PR professional, I have to generate relationships with reporters and journalists from very big publications like the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, USA Today, Inc. magazine. Those are all publications that I've gotten clients coverage in. And basically, most of them I did not have relationships with the people that wrote the stories. So it's about creating, just not pitching someone, but sharing, especially with the media. I always read stories about what they've done, find an angle that I think is relevant and how it relates to me. And then I bring those things, making others the center of attention. And then I also, in many, many cases, and I'll share this later at the end of the presentation, just real life connections. So many of my LinkedIn connections have become real life friends, advocates, adversaries for me. And I think that's, really valuable, important. The second R is being respectful. So being respectful of people's time, being respectful of people's relationships. So what I mean by that is lots of times, and I'm sure everyone on this webinar gets pitched on LinkedIn. So I would just say, be respectful of people's time and perhaps maybe not the initial introduction or note to someone is about getting on the calendar with them. Maybe what I typically do, because I'm looking at building long-term relationships, I typically say, I enjoy your content. I like your work. I'd love to connect on LinkedIn and continue to follow your work. It really isn't necessarily about a call to action. Sometimes I'll ask if there's something specific that I think that I can help them with, and not from a sales perspective, like a connection that I might be able to offer them. So, and then again, the other thing with being respectful is respecting of the relationships. So like the relationships they have on LinkedIn are their relationships that they've curated. So I normally don't ask someone to make an introduction to me to one of their relationships unless I have a long-term relationship with them. And that goes to knowing, liking, and trusting. Being resourceful. So researching how you can help. Again, going into taking 5 minutes maybe to look at somebody's website or seeing some content that they've created and researching before you reach out. And then reciprocating. So I've met so many, as I said, real life relationships on LinkedIn. And it's basically about, reciprocating a win-win relationship. It's not just about taking, executing, and then I just wanted to share an example. So a few years ago, I met a group of women on LinkedIn. They were having a charity function in California, and a lot of the messaging for the charity resonated with me. And I connected. The women opened arms to their home. Ever since then, several of them I've had a great long-term relationship with. We've exchanged business opportunities. We collaborate on projects together. So those are the types of things when I say reciprocate that I'm referring to. Authentic message, again, content, videos, thoughtful, meaningful comments, being brief and succinct with your introduction. I wanted to offer a download. I have this on my website. It's just ways that you can help you with your personal branding. And here's just ways to connect with me. So thank you so much. Thought I was trying to go quickly, so I appreciate that.